Kia ora team, Brad here. Now, I'm on holiday with my family down in central Otago. We've been visiting some amazing places. Unfortunately, I've injured my knee again, so I'm unable to run and unable to ski. So I've been dropping my kids and wife off skiing while I've had to make do with other things. Luckily for you, I've decided to share my 10-minute mobility routine that I do most mornings while I'm on holiday. I do this to wake me up. I also do this before my swims. When you're injured, it's important to focus on the things that you can do rather than ruminating and being anxious about the things that you can't. So this holiday I've been working on my yoga, my mobility, my upper body strength and my swimming. And this is the 10-minute follow along mobility routine that I've been doing every morning. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into this. Now I really like starting off with a bit of mobility. So some hip swings forward and back, trying to keep that lower back nice and still. Hang on to something to help with that balance. So looking at maybe 5 to 10 swings each side, front and back, to get the hip flexor and the glute mobilized, and then some side to sides. So again, hang on to something, lean over just a little bit, and then the front leg swing through and arch up as much as you can. This really helps mobilize the hip, and it really just helps get those muscles moving through different planes of motion, and really works well as a pretty simple warm-up. And then the thoracic spine, so just standing, twisting from side to side, so taking it through as much range as comfortable, and then try and push a little bit more, and then leaning over and the same sort of thing, twisting, so looking up and raising that hand up as high as you can. Shake it out, and then some shoulder rotations. So I like to have one going in one direction, the other in the other direction. If you have trouble doing that, then just get them both going in the same direction. Right, let's get into this. Now I love starting off with the warrior 2 position, so make sure you're centered, your weight's evenly distributed through the feet, and then you can just sit into the stretch and then leaning over towards your left and just stretching that side bend with the elbow down on the knee, and then taking that left hand down onto the ground, holding, stretching and breathing. And then you can wrap that back hand behind the back if possible and hang on to the thigh. So that's a modification. You can do that, please give it a go. Right, and then coming up, and we're moving now from warrior 2 to warrior 1. Okay, so that front foot is facing forward, the back foot is on train track, so it's not right after the other one, and you take it to 45 degrees. And then you go up to the ball of your foot on that back foot, stretching, hold that stretch, just take some breaths, and then coming down and rotating up. Okay, so just bringing that hand next to the front foot, rotate in one direction, and then take it in the other direction. Just keep breathing, make sure you're not holding your breath, just breathe nice and deep in the nose, out the mouth. And now we're just going to stretch that hip out a little bit more, so coming down into that sort of push-up position with the upper body and letting that knee just drop out to the side. Just hold that position. Great static stretch. Right, down into a little bit of a down dog. And then it's going to lift that foot up and then take it over, so just mobilizing those hips and that lower back a little bit. And then the other side, same thing. So lifting up and just rotating over. Nice and controlled. Keep breathing. Wait through that 3 points, one leg and the 2 hands. Nice work. And now coming down, push-up position, and then up, stretching that lower back, bringing those shoulders down, breathing, and then into some push-ups. We're going to do one set of push-ups here, making sure that you're doing maybe around 50% of your maximum. Okay, so it's well within control. So I'm doing around 25 here. So if you need to do less than this, then just modify it and go to the knee so that you can complete the full 25. But 50% of your maximum, and then the rest on your knees. Okay, but I'm trying to do 25 here. Up into a little bit of a down dog, coming up into a little bit of a squat, stand up, shake those legs out, and then we're going to repeat on the other side. So into that warrior two, stretching, so sink down into that stretch. Really feel that adductor, and then come on over, so elbow onto the knee, stretch that side body, keep breathing, do not hold your breath. And just hold that stretch, and then take that front arm down onto the ground, reach up, and if you can, if you want to modify this a little bit more, reach that backhand behind your back and grab hold of the thigh, or just take it around as far as you comfortably can. Right, now come on up, and we're moving now from that warrior two to warrior one, so that back foot is on that 45-degree angle, and hold, stretch up, and then when you're ready, move that back foot from that 45-degree angle up onto your toes and get a little bit more of a stretch. Arch back a little bit, keep the breathing, and then we're going to come down and do some of these spinal twists. So arm down on the ground, reach the other arm up, look to that top hand if you can. It's a little bit harder with balance, and then rotate the other direction. And just notice if you have a little bit of an imbalance, you might find that one direction is a little bit easier than the other. If that's the case, then try and maybe spend some extra time working on that direction that's a little bit harder for you. And now coming down into this sort of lizard lunge position, both hands down, and just let that knee drop out to the side a little bit. Hold, breathe. It is tempting to hold the breath when you sort of go into these extra stretches. And into a little bit of a down dog. Just push back there. Hold, breathe. And then we're going to come down into that push-up position, and then arch all the way up into that nice cobra position. Stretch out that lumbar spine. The lumbar spine loves to be taken to this extension, but don't ever take it into pain. So take it up to where it feels comfortable. And now we're up into that push-up position and the second set of push-ups. So again, 50% of your maximum. This will be a little bit harder. And if you have trouble doing that full 25, then do what you can and then drop to the knees for the remaining repetitions. But for you, in future, make sure you do these 2 push-up sets within this mobility program at around 50% of your maximum. So by the end of it, you've covered your maximum number. Into the down dog, stretch, come on up. And then we're going to finish off in this nice split type position. You'll notice I'm not that flexible, but just come down as far as you can and then bend over and then walk your hands over to one ankle, hold, keep breathing, and then walk the hands over to the other ankle, hold and stretch. It's great for the adductors, great for the hip mobility and the lumbar spine. And then come on down for both, and then back up, raise those hands up, stretch it back, keep breathing. Great stuff. Shake it out. And then we're going to go into a nice dancer's pose. So just hold that back foot on the big toe side of the foot, and then really work on that balance. Soft knee on that stance leg. Hold this nice and controlled. Take it over as far as you can. And then we're going to try this on the other side. Same thing, but the other side. So hold that foot on the big toe side, take it back, and then lean forward and try and maintain that balance. Soft knee on that stance leg, nice and controlled. Keep breathing, and then finish up. Fantastic work. And now we're going to finish off here with a little bit of core work just to really finish off this mobility and strength session. So front plank, and we're going to do 10 knee lifts, 5 each side, to try and touch that elbow. keep breathing, nice and controlled. This is a great way to finish off this session. Really prime these muscles, and then we're going side plank and driving up that knee to the elbow and then stretch out in between. Do around 5 of these. You can do more if you'd like to. And then we're going to do some dips. So we're just keeping nice and controlled and just dipping those hips. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side. So swap sides and then drive that knee up to meet the elbow, but keep as stable as you can while you're doing this. And again, please keep breathing. As it gets more challenging, it's harder. And then 5 hip dips. Really engaging that glute med, those lateral stabilizers, which really helps when you're running. Keeps nice and stability, keeps the running economy nice and high. And that is it. It's a lovely 10-minute mobility, strength, and core routine that you can do anywhere, anytime, and I promise you that will help your running.
Great work, team. Hopefully you got something out of that. Any questions or comments, please put them below and I'll get to them as soon as possible. So get out there, and even if you're injured, keep training like a runner. There's heaps that you can do. Yoga, mobility, swimming, cycling. Keep fit. Champion compassion. And I look forward to catching up with you on the next one.